After all but 4 decades away, Uganda are back at the Africa Cup of Nations. Idi Amin was in charge of the country and occasionally training sessions when the country last qualified in 1978. Uganda reached the final that year only to lose out against hosts Ghana. The footballing gods have conspired to throw the two teams together again 39 years later.
We have watched 19 Africa Cup of Nations since 1978 on television. Now we are there. Coming back is not an easy step, but I believe that we have prepared very well.
And while Uganda will end their Cup of Nations exile at the newly built Port Gentil stadium, East African football does appear to have been left behind by the rest of the continent. Uganda are the only East African country to have qualified for this tournament and hasn't been an East African winner since Sudan took the title back in 1970. The region hasn't even hosted the event since Ethiopia did so back in 1976, and that won't be changing anytime soon, with Cameroon, Ivory Coast and Guinea the next 3 host nations. This Ugandan sports writer told me that despite the team's recent success, he worries about his country's lack of investment in football.
Most of the players that have come through Uganda have been more by accident. We've not really put structures in place to really help players come through. We have academies, so-called academies, that actually can't really operate optimally because the facilities are so bad.
The Confederation of African Football say that while they can offer some financial and technical support, individual countries also need to up their game.
The West and the North, to a certain extent, are ahead in terms of, I wouldn't say quality, because quality is everywhere, but in terms of representation and performance at the Cup of Nations, yes, there's a lot of work to be done from that perspective, and that work belongs to the member associations together with the Confederation to improve the results at the highest level.
It all means for now this team is representing not just a country, but an entire region of Africa. Andy Richardson, Al Jazeera, Port Gentil, Gabon.